One night recently, as I was leaving my office, our hunger hotline rang, and I picked up the phone and there was silence on the other end, and I said, "I'm here, take your time, I can listen." And a few minutes later, a man choked out his story, and his name was Bill, 53 years old. He'd been working since he was 12 years old, and in June of last year, the company he worked for in Lombard, Illinois, told him that they were having financial troubles and asked him if he could work for free. Went back and talked to his wife, and she said, "You know, we have a 13-year-old daughter. We have savings in this economy. It's best if you just keep working." Well, to make a long story short, the company went Chapter 11, and the company that took over, that bought them out, didn't assume their debt. And so he went to the unemployment office to apply for unemployment insurance, and he was told he wasn't eligible because the company had not been paying into unemployment, and they had not been paying their federal and state taxes. He's just one of the thousands of calls that we're receiving through our 1-800-HUNGER hotline. We've had a 60% increase in the number of callers to the hotline. And our pantries, we have over 600 members, pantries throughout the state. Our pantries, some of them are seeing increases of up to 70%, sometimes higher. And I thought a lot when I heard about an executive who got a $1.4 million bonus, and we all know about those guys. It was interesting to me it was 1.4, because right now in the state of Illinois there's 1.4 million people that are on food stamps. 1 in 10 people in the state of Illinois are in food stamps right now. And if it weren't for the caseworkers in the DHS offices, we wouldn't even have the close to over 70% of the people who are eligible on food stamps who are on. But that's only part of the story. The other part of the story is that some of our local DHS offices have caseload sizes up to 2,000. In most states, it's less than 300. Even the department says that the caseload sizes should not be more than 600. Those are 600 households, and the average is well over 800 in the state. But like I said, you know, we have some that are up over 2,000. We need a tax increase to help support our state employees. We have one of the lowest, in fact, we are the lowest for the number of state employees per capita, and yet we have close to 500,000 people 3 years ago, before the problem got even worse, close to 500,000 people who suffer from food insecurity, which means they don't have regular access to food. Many of those are children, at least more than half of those are children. We always say the food stamp program is the first line of defense against hunger. And unless we have enough caseworkers, we even know now that the Bills of the world, when they go to a DHS office, they have to come back day after day after day. He had to swallow his pride and go back. We're not going to be able to meet the demand unless we have more workers in those local offices. They're finding that people, this new group of people, these people who are unemployed, the Bills of the world, who have never ever gone without working, have never asked for assistance, when they come into an office, it takes twice as long time to do an interview with them and try to help them get the services that they need. And this impacts our caseworkers that work with families where there's child abuse, and we know we have decades of research that shows when the economy worsens, when workers lose their jobs, when people are suffering economically, we see greater number of cases of domestic violence. We see an increase in child abuse and neglect. So I don't know how we can walk away from those folks. The pain is palpable. We have an office in Marion, Illinois, and up in Chicago. And part of our staff is here with me today. And I look at the staff at the end of the day, and I see the pain and the suffering in their eyes from the pain and the suffering in the community. And again, we know that these programs work. The other thing is that we need economic stimulus in our low-income communities. And food stamps are 100% federally funded. So for every dollar in food stamps, that turns into about $2 in the local economy. So for just 1 month recently, we brought in $348 million into local communities through the food stamp program. But we will not be able to increase to meet the increased demand or even meet the people that were eligible prior to that unless we are able to increase the number of staff at DHS offices. I mean, we have less people working in DHS offices than we did in 2001. And we can't deal with that any longer. So we applaud the governor for looking to increase taxes. We believe that we need to all pay our fair shares because we're not the people that work at AIG who can go to golf outings and get bonuses. We're the working people of the state of Illinois who need this support. Thank you.